Hello everyone, Sentinel2 and welcome to another mod overview, this time on DimStorage. Now we're going to be looking at the 164.172ish version as well as the later, I guess, revival of it as the 112 to 115 version. I'll be covering the original 164 because I always struggle to get 172 working, and I'll be using the 115.2 version for the newer one, even though I'm assuming the 112 and 114 shouldn't differ too much, but just keep that in mind, I am using the 115.2 version for this video. So, the original obviously has quite a bit in it. It doesn't unfortunately have certain things like the config button, and a few other fixes, or translations, or an updated model, and stuff like that, so keep that in mind when I'm covering this, that certain things aren't going to be just included in this. But for 164, the original version, you had the dimensional core made like so, and the dimensional chest, which I've got two here. So if I put a core in here as just some random item or block in here, you can see that I've got it between the two. If I take it out, then yeah, so obviously this is similar to an ender chest where it shows pretty much the similar type of inventory in it. It's not a separate chest. Now if I change the frequency, it's got a completely different inventory, so you can have different frequencies. I don't know what the limit is though, if we ever have one, but either way you can pretty much switch between different frequencies for different things. Say if you had a quarry set up somewhere, you had a sorting system in another, or you had, I don't know, just something simple, then yeah, you could obviously set this up to have whatever frequency you wanted, and then have it so that it has a separate inventory to transport from one to the other, and you'd obviously want it to be the exact same frequency to take advantage of the same inventory, to then obviously send one of them through a hopper or piping system to your sorting system. If you've got a quarry set up on frequency 2, you'd want the quarry specific stuff to be there, then another one that's frequency 2 would then connect to your sorting system, and then the one that's on frequency 1, whatever that's set up to, say sending buckets to a lava type generation, and then sending them back through, say, frequency 3 or something, or maybe even frequency 1 again, if you want it to cycle back and forth between going in and out of certain pipes and dimensional chests. Otherwise though, you've got the ability to change the actual security of it from either public to a player's ownership. I don't know if you can add others. I'm pretty sure it only counts for those that have placed down the block. So whoever placed it down is the one who has ownership of it, besides it being public. There isn't a private as far as I can tell either, which again you'd probably be setting up a list of people who can use it, but again there's only the owner who placed it, I'm pretty sure's ownership that would be private. And you can lock this thing if you want as well, which I'm assuming it will only lock a lot more relevantly for the owner of it, rather than public, as public isn't likely to allow for it to be locked. Okay, it probably can, anyway. I don't think the dimensional core is used for anything else though, it is just for recipes. It's not a key of sorts to work with the locked setting, or anything, but yeah, that's pretty much this one. In terms of picking them up though, let's check with a pick to see. I'm pretty sure it's possibly stone or higher to break these things. We don't have any type of breaking animation showing on these, so it's hard to tell. And we'll just check. I'm assuming it should be at least wood, but you never know since it is iron materials. Recipe. Okay, so you can break them. I'm assuming you probably can't with your fist, but either way, we'll see. And it is also getting to night time, so I probably want to change that. Seems we can't break it Okay, it is taking quite a bit longer than usual. Okay then. Probably not breakable at all then, it seems. I don't know. Anyways, we'll move over to the newest version of the mod, which obviously we've taken damage in, which is great. And it's also dark there as well, because that always ends up happening. Okay, I didn't have anything on me anyways, I think, so that's fine. We'll get dimensional chests, obviously. You can only stack one in each slot, it seems. Okay. So, dimensional chest in newer versions, at least the 1.15.2 version, is made up of a dimensional wall, as well as a solid dimensional core, as well as a dimensional core. From there, obviously, you use the two to make a dimensional chest, and you can also use a dimensional tablet if you want to bind it to a chest for, I'm assuming, portable access to these. Now, there is a bit more depth to these than the original, but again, I don't know how much differs from the 1.7.2 version to, say, even the 1.12 as much, but I'm assuming a lot of the same features are probably here. You can see there's an animation appearing as well, working every time you open it. You've got public as well as the owner as well. Again, I'm assuming it's whenever it's the person who placed it. So yeah, I don't know if a block would work if you had an a fake player doing it though. Not sure. I'm assuming the fake player that owns that block or something. I don't know. Either way, obviously, you can still change this. You get the frequency to change if you wish, as well, as per usual. And change that. So completely different inventories. Keep it the same though. You've got locking it, or you can have it idle, which obviously when you are collecting, it means that the dim chest collects all the items in the inventories in a 3x3 area. And you've also got collecting there besides idle, collecting mode allows you to do that. So you can see, obviously, the light here as well. If we change that, it changes accordingly. So idle is then collecting in yellow. And if you have public or not, you have it changed again. You've got it locked to red, and then if we change it again, you can see like so. So there is definitely different colors, so you can get an idea of what sort of setting or mode it's in, compared to just it being sort of what it was before, where it was just, you sort of interact with it like a typical block, and yeah. Otherwise, we don't have anything bound to the dimensional tablet, so we can look here, and put some blocks in, and we're good to go. We don't want it to be specifically for that frequency for that one, and obviously view the one from the first, we can bind it to the second. We'll put, say, some bookshelves in here, and it's completely separate from that. And we can go between each of these and view whatever we want. So if we want to have one set up for a mining ship compared to having one set up for some other type of purpose, we could obviously do that and just keep putting ores in to here, and then we could keep putting our cobble or building materials or whatever else we wanted to set up the other one for. In terms of configs though, for the 1.6.4 version, there is just item IDs, and when it comes to the 1.15.2 version, you've got obviously the ability to tweak allowing a frequency, so it allows players to change the dimensional chest's frequency, which is enabled by default. The ability for it to allow players to set a private network. Again, I'm assuming that's mostly more for the ownership. It's not for just saying it's private and then only selecting individual people that can use it. It's only the single owner related private network setup. And then you have the diameter as well, the inventory check-in. So yeah, we'll also get some stuff here, 3x3 in collecting mode, and see what that does. We'll see if that does anything. Doesn't seem to be though, unless it's above. That's all combining. Okay then, interesting. Let's see. Public, these dimensional chests collects all items in inventories and battery. So ignore the chest or so, rather than just throwing it on the ground. So we have a chest here. We switch it to collecting mode. Seems to be it doesn't do it. Maybe it's for vacuums or hoppers or something? I should try that and see then. Or certain other inventories. Or collecting from an inventory adjacent to it? Okay, so there, right, yeah, 3x3, so obviously it's not too wide. It doesn't actually connect to it though, I think. Yeah, it does. That's just there then. So if we put something else in here, like a bunch of hoppers, that'll collect it. And we can also throw this in here as well, and we'll do that in collection mode. We can also send them in that way if we want to as well. Good to know. Otherwise though, that seems to be pretty much it. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.